4 years ago, a man walked into a situation that he thought would be great for his career. Boy, was he wrong. The Red Sox made the decision to blame him for all the wrongdoing that had gone on.
We all know where we are in the standings. It's a painful reality that fans feel as deeply as we do.
So, wait, suddenly that High Bloom is gone, it's a new era for Boston, and they obviously want to win now? Okay, I guess the team would spend money. The Red Sox executive chairman Tom Werner even confirmed that they would be spending money this offseason. His exact quote is that they would be going full throttle. Alright, so full throttle, no more High Bloom. This had to mean a good offseason was coming. Many viewed this team as only 2 starting pitchers away. And luckily, Blake Snell, you got your veteran, and you also got Yamamoto. You got a young guy. So there were options to go and get an ace. You could go with a veteran, you could go with the young guy. It was just up to the Red Sox to go and open their wallet. The very first thing Boston did was hire their new GM, Craig Breslow, someone who's been deeply involved with the Cubs pitching system. So he was the right guy to go and build a pitching staff at the MLB level and a pipeline in the minor leagues. He made it clear that this would not be the Chaim Bloom tenure all over again, and that they wanted 2 bona fide starters this offseason. 2 people who can make a large impact. He also made it clear that they were not going to be afraid to go and trade top prospects. They were not going to be prospect huggers. They wanted a Dylan Cease, or they wanted a Jesus Luzardo. This was not Chaim Bloom. This was Craig Breslow, and it was his plan. Early into the offseason, it was the Yamamoto sweepstakes, the best pitcher on the free agent market. It was expected that Boston would be all over this guy. This would be the move where you remember that the Red Sox are a big market. But it wasn't going to be easy. They had to compete with the unlimited budget Dodgers, a team that had already signed Shohei Ohtani and was now looking for Yamamoto. They also had to compete with the Yankees, who of course are not afraid to go and spend the big bucks. Ultimately, he met with the Red Sox once in Los Angeles, and then he later went on an East Coast trip to go and meet with a few other teams. He did not meet with the Red Sox again, as he later signed with the LA Dodgers. This put a very sour taste in every Red Sox fan's mouth. They weren't even a finalist for Yamamoto. It was the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets. No one else. But again, no worries. There were other players on this market, right? Well, meanwhile, Boston media was in a complete other headspace rather than the market. The Chaim Bloom headspace. The Red Sox ownership was exposed for using Chaim as a scapegoat. Bloom was often criticized time and time again for not spending money. But wait, let me ask you, what GM does not want to spend money? What GM actually wants to be cheap in MLB? If you're given the option to spend money and it will better your team, you're gonna do it. It's another option that you can utilize. I'm not a Chaim lover by any means in the world, and I'm not a fan of how he managed certain things, but Bloom was dealt the wrong stick. Immediately, he had to be the guy to trade Mookie Betts, becoming the villain to everyone. And not just that, he also had to go and trade an horrific contract in David Price. The David Price contract diminished some of the value that Mookie Betts had. He was walking into a team that also had the worst farm system in baseball. So he has to go and trade a superstar. He has nothing to work with in the minor leagues. This guy had it bad no matter how you look at it. Oh, and the lack of spending, that was because of the ownership. It is said that he had actually been given a budget to work with and that he worked with it. Again, not a fan of how he chose to build the team, but it was not him who controlled the team's spending. And then afterwards, he of course ended up getting fired, and the Red Sox claimed that they're tired of being at the bottom of the standings, blah 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 blah, and that their fans deserve the best. Clearly implying that Bloom is 100% the reason why they have not been winning. They then hire Craig Breslow, and oh wait, the team is operating the same as the Bloom era, signing a pitcher filled with uncertainty in Lucas Giolito. 1-year contract with a player option for 2025. So even if they do fix him, there's a very good shot that he just hits free agency instead. So already, it feels like a Chaim Bloom signing in the sense of it not being a big market move. And what makes it even crazier is that they've yet to add anyone else into the rotation. So we went from 2 bona fide starters are going to be added to 1 guy who they actually have to fix. This is a man who is being told by ownership exactly what to do and what he can't do. He's been booed already by Red Sox fans, and it's not even his fault. He's only doing what he can with what he has to work with. What's crazier is the Red Sox have already attempted to blame Breslow. Tom Werner, the man who said full throttle, he said this: "In the end, we don't have a line in terms of our payroll that we look at as much as trusting Craig Breslow is going to deliver on his assurance that we're going to be competitive. So let's see." He's trying to say that there is no budget and that it's completely up to Breslow. Okay, buddy. So far, Breslow's made several trades trying to do what he can. One trade featuring Alex Verdugo to the Yankees. And in that trade, he got back 3 minor league pitchers. He also traded for an outfielder in Tyler O'Neill, a former Gold Glove, power-hitting outfielder who Boston believes that they can get to rebound. Then at second base, they attempted to find a permanent solution, trading veteran Chris Sale for second baseman Vaughn Grissom. This trade meant a lot for the team overall, because number one, it freed up money. Number two, the Red Sox have a young, controllable second baseman who they could potentially develop. But the problem is that they haven't actually added to the rotation, and obviously, that's the biggest weakness. You traded Chris Sale, and you signed Lucas Giolito. Otherwise, it's the exact same rotation as last year. But it doesn't have to be. They have options, and they could make a signing. Jordan Montgomery's still available. He's someone that makes sense for Boston completely. He may not be an ace, but he's a lot better than what they have. To go along with that, his wife is currently doing her residency at a hospital in Boston. They're literally already living there. So why did the Red Sox not do it? It's because they don't want to spend money on 2024. And don't ask me, ask them. They said that the payroll will likely be lower this year than it was last year, continuing the trend that the Red Sox are suddenly poor. And it doesn't end there. They still plan on cutting as much payroll as they can, starting with the team's closer, Kenley Jansen. He was the first real closer that Boston had in years, and they want to move on after year one. It's all because they have the intention of saving money by trading him. Many have believed that by trading him, this could open up the possibility of Jordan Montgomery, but this is the Red Sox. Why can't they afford Montgomery and Jansen? Year in and year out, Fenway is more expensive than any other ballpark. And by the way, this brings us into our next discussion, because you know what? They're more focused on Fenway Park than they are on the Red Sox. They're trying to sell a Fenway experience, not a Red Sox experience. Going back onto the whole Kenley thing, they recently traded away a reliever. Although it was not Kenley, it was instead John Schreiber, a controllable reliever who had good value. In return, they got back a minor league pitcher who's in single A. Good move in the long run, bad move if you want to win in 2024. Speaking of not wanting to win, by the way, they signed Liam Hendriks. Now, Hendriks is really good. I like the guy a lot. He's been a dominant closer. So the move is good, but he's going to be injured literally all year up until the trade deadline. So again, another move pointing for the future rather than 2024. The Red Sox have completely punted this year, and they should be embarrassed. This team is one starting pitcher away, and they refuse to go and bring in one more guy. They also had the option of adding another star to their lineup. Yes, the rotation's the biggest problem, but they need righty power really bad in that lineup. It was going to be Teoscar Hernandez. He would have made sense, came in, and did a really good job. But they did not want to pay him, and they did not want to give him an offer more than 2 years long. Teoscar confirmed earlier on a podcast that he actually wanted to go to Boston, and that it's also his favorite place to play. But yet, they missed out on another player. Today, they also confirmed that Breslow is working under constraints. So pretty much that means he's either working under a budget, or they're telling him what he can and can't do, as we expected, but still, they actually revealed it today. Not only could this just ruin Breslow's resume, but they are also pushing their star manager out of Boston. Alex Cora knows how to run the marathon of a full season. He knows how to get your team ready for the postseason. But these teams have not been in the playoffs. This is a guy who has said time and time again, he doesn't want to manage for forever. His contract expires after 2024, and it is now expected that he will be moving on. The future is bright, but they are likely going to be losing Alex Cora, and this is just an absolute mess every which way. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you did. If not, thanks for watching anyway, and peace out.